Hey everybody, Angela Arlino with Your Natural Dog, and I'm so excited. Today I'm joined by Kim Rogers of Roger Hood's Apothecary, and today we're talking parasites. She's the worm queen, and we're going to talk about parasites, how you get them, which ones pass from our pets, our cats and our dogs over to us, and how can we detox from them naturally and safely, and what is the protocol. It's a fascinating episode. I'm detoxing myself right now as we speak, so stay tuned. All right, everybody, we are back with Kim Rogers. She's known as the Worm Queen, so of course we have to ask her. I mean, I've been trying my damnedest to be known as the Cannabis Queen, but I'm sure someone else probably tried to take it, and now I'm equally in love with mushrooms, so now I'm trying to be like the Adaptogen Queen. But you're the Worm Queen. I want to know how you got that name.
Well, I used to be the Mushroom Queen. I was at the beginning of all of this. I always wanted a crown, right? My sister was like in pageants, and I was like, those crowns are kind of cool. So I was crowned the Worm Queen over on TikTok. I went viral after around a year and a half on TikTok. We were building a log home, so I was showing our journey, and then we grew mushrooms to help my body and kind of get me into a better healing position than I was in when we went out to our property. So I ended up just discussing in 60 seconds my journey with the parasite cleanse, because I come from Western medicine. And I said, I've been in Western medicine for over 18 years and I've never dewormed myself until now. And they came out my skin. I saw pinworms, roundworm, fluke. I mean, it was wild in my toilet after 3 days of doing my first parasite cleanse. So I talked about it. I went viral, and I didn't want to be known as the worm lady. That's just not fun. And so I was like, you guys, tell me like a better name than worm lady. And so someone popped back and said, you need to be crowned Worm Queen. And I'm like, I'll take it. So I merged this as Worm Queen. We have mushrooms with worms that comes out that has a crown on it. Like, I mean, just, you got to play with it. I'm out here talking about worms. So
I love it. And I do want to talk about your story a little bit, because it's an awesome story. And I love talking to people who have figured out how to heal themselves. And you coming from Western medicine, it makes it especially juicy. It's my favorite type of guest. I love having veterinarians all the time come on and go, yeah, we weren't taught anything about diet nutrition. Nope, we don't know shit about mushrooms. Endocannabinoid system, what the hell is that? So
it's just for funsies, right? No, exactly. Our bodies actually have cannabinoids, and we need to be helping our bodies, reintroducing all of these things to our bodies. Well, I've always been this way. I've always done some sort of plant medicine since I was around 13. So cool. I'm not new to this world. I am more new to the world of parasite cleansing, but I've always had that open mind to alternative medicine. And in fact, I got in trouble when I was growing up for weed. So my dad threw me in juvie for the weekend. It was very traumatic. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I know. But it didn't deter me. I mean, I took it on as a challenge.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad they didn't scare you away from it. So I know your story, but I want you to share your story. You were very sick and you needed to get out back into nature and kind of figure out what was going on. And then things got better and then got worse. Like tell them your story about how you have been able to heal yourself.
So I come from Western medicine. I have 2 healthcare degrees. I ran 25 healthcare colleges. I wrote medical books. I served on advisory boards, and I've had 13 surgeries and a hysterectomy. And I could not figure out still, after all of my life experiences, after all of my personal journey with endometriosis, why I was so sick. and I started to decline rapidly. My husband and I got our affairs in order in 2019, and we had a piece of recreational property out in a little town called Hoodsport, Washington. It's the outskirts of the rainforest. And in 2016, I started to design our log home that we were going to build ourselves. As my health was declining, I was no longer in the workforce. And so I needed my mind to go and do something. So in 2016, I started building that. And then in 2017, we started to prepare ourselves to get out there. And in 2019, I was really, really declining very fast. And so we decided like in around May of 19 for my husband to quit his job. And I wasn't really working at the time. So we packed up our life. We sold our house. We got rid of all of our belongings. And we moved out to our recreational property and lived in our travel trailer while we were doing all of the things to that property. The main reason was I didn't want my husband to be left with debt, and being just like sick and chronically is expensive. So I wanted to kind of give him a possible one up if something did happen to me, which we were prepared for. So we didn't have a mortgage.
What was your diagnosis?
So I had stage 4 endometriosis, beginning stages of cervical cancer, and all of those surgeries. And I had another surgery in 2019, which was very difficult on my body because now I know we were living in mold. And I had parasites, and I have chronic Lyme, and I've had it for over 30 years. I got bit by a tick when I was around 10, and that's when my behavioral and my body changes started. And so they just didn't diagnose it. I actually found out I had parasites, mold, and Lyme on my own.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I mean, not same thing, but, and I haven't even gone down. And I know so many people like you who are at the stages that you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And I'm hoping they hear these types of things, because if they're not going through what you're going through, well, endometriosis is considered an autoimmune disease now, right?
It is now.
I don't know who's not have an autoimmune disease.
Yeah, it's because our bodies are fighting against themselves, not knowing what the toxin is inside. And so it's going into like a survival mode. And we're just so inundated with environmental toxins on a daily basis between parasites and mold and heavy metals. And then things that get produced inside of our body, like yeast, which is a parasite that turns into candida. And so we just don't know, because we've been somewhat indoctrinated over the last 100 years. I mean, we're only been in Western medicine for 100 years, 101 actually. If you want to be to the number, to 1924 is when they flipped it over from holistic and herbs to where we're at now.
The original medicine.
The original medicine. The OG medicine was what Earth gave us. Yeah, that's the OG. I'm going to start saying that, Angela.
Thank you.
I'm going to start saying, okay, so we come from Western medicine, and now and before it was the OG medicine. Because really it's like, people don't know that when you're like, say you're in your yard and you're shedding the cells, the earth will actually grab those cells and have plants grow around your environment for what you need. So some people will have a ton of dandelions in their yard and some people won't. You should go check your heart. You should go and check your blood to see, because Earth knows the best, right? She is telling us what we need. She is giving us what we need. That's her job. And our job is to wake up and see that. And we're all kind of in this sleep. Yeah.
And I'm going to add to that something called zoopharmacognosy, which is the wild animals who go find the mushrooms and herbs and plants they need to make them feel better or help their gut issues or diseases or whatever they have. And one of my rescues that I still have with me, I'm, by the way, in my Airstream travel trailer right now in California. Nice. But she was really allergic to fleas. And we had lemongrass growing in our backyard in Tampa, and she literally would go and eat that lemongrass. Every time I had dogs over boarding or staying at my farm, she'd go show them how to eat the lemongrass. It was amazing to watch it in action with my own dogs. But yes, Mother Nature's incredible. She makes all the food and medicine we need. Same was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in 2015, and 2016, I got my first cannabis tincture and took it and just felt pain leave my body.
That's great.
That's
and
awesome. Literally threw myself into a career and ended up becoming a formulator because I could not find products that were good enough for my pets. I was invited to the University of Vermont School of Medicine, where I learned all about the endocannabinoid system and how to grow and source and all that good stuff. But I want to talk about parasites because that was parasites kind of like your last thing you needed to take care of in your journey? Like everything's going well, and then this was the last thing you needed to do?
I mean, I was doing better when it all kind of started. I was doing better, but I wasn't at the optimal level that I should have been I was eating really good for, our circumstances, and I couldn't lose weight, and my skin was a disaster, and my mental health was kind of still in the tanker, and I was doing a lot of mushroom journeys. I would say daily I was doing some mushroom journeys. And just to kind of get
That's why you're such a happy person
now. Yeah. And when I start to feel not happy, I'm like, I'm going for a journey. I'll be back later.
Awesome.
But Amanita, she plays a huge part in what my story is, because I thought about doing ayahuasca, and ayahuasca in 2020, they would actually send it to you because there wasn't any facilities open. And I was like, I don't know. I really want to look at some mushrooms. And, it is very difficult to find someone in the DMs on Instagram. Like, I'm just not going to randomly trust somebody in my DMs, And so my husband was like, well, why don't I pause our log home to actually figure out how to grow some mushrooms? Because then we know these are going to be legit. And so we started that journey, paused our log home, started the journey for him to learn how to grow psilocybin for me, as well as lion's mane and turkey tail, maitake, chaga, we went out and we foraged chaga. But then I learned about her. And when I learned about Amanita, and I was getting off of Klonopin after 22 years, and I found out that this is the same DNA structure as benzodiazepine. They stole it, but they changed one molecule so they could patent benzo.
They do it with every single pharmaceutical comes from food, planet, or a mushroom. Every single one, but you can't patent nature.
That's right.
So you have to do it. You have to just pull out that isolate. Okay, well, then we need to do some trading because I don't know about her. Sure. I don't know about her.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, and before I forget, in 2015, I started giving my dog CBD, and she did so much better. She had a lot of pain. And then my other dog, my little dog, he didn't like it, but my bigger dog, she loved it. Oh man. So anyway, I wanted to tell you that because I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, before it was a thing, I was like calculating my dog's dose of my medication to give it to her because she was in such pain all the time. And I just know what it does for me. So I was like, come on, Megan, come here, girl.
Good thinking. That's what I need more pet parents to think that way, because all I do now is walk around and go, that dog's in pain. That dog's in pain. How do you not know that dog's in pain?
Plant medicine.
Exactly. Every senior citizen should be on a full spectrum hemp extract, animal or human, and medicinal mushrooms. Medicinal mushrooms and adaptogen extracts. So I make both now. So I do full spectrum and I do spagyric tinctures with adaptogens in them. And they're all human grade, and I take them myself every single day. But
I want to try it. I'm excited to try it.
I want to talk.
Oh, yeah. Sustain. It's the best, right? It's the best. Sustain and ParaFy and Metal Flush, like us plant medicine people. I mean, we've definitely all been finding our tribe because we're kind of sporadically scattered everywhere. And we just need to kind of come together and help with this medical awakening that everyone's having.
I want to hold a conference. I already decided you're speaking at my conference. Okay, good. What's happening?
Okay.
Do you know Dr. Nicola Palian?
No.
So she healed her MS.
Oh, is she the one that wrote this book? The Green Book?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Instrumental in the ParaFy Kit. Instrumental. I read that book from morning till night. I mean, I didn't have a whole lot of other things going on. I just would go from my bed to a chair and then I would surround myself with books and I would just read. And then as soon as I went viral, I ordered her book immediately. Like it was there like the next day. I immediately started in on, okay, so I have heavy metals. I know I have heavy metals. This one parasite cleanse, just like the one from Amazon, is not enough. And then I would read the comments and they would tell me, you should add this, you should add that. I'd go right to the herb Bible and I would grab it and I would look. And then she gave so much information. And I love information. I have 2 healthcare degrees and I was valedictorian. So I'm going to constantly be soaking it all in. And I didn't know about usnea. When I found out about usnea from her, my entire health trajectory changed. Usnea and lungwort lichen, those 2 herbs are such a secret. And they're in our kit. They're in Sustain and they're in Metal Flush. And you have to have lungwort lichen, which breaks the biofilm around environmental toxins like parasites and mold. Or you're just kind of spinning your wheels, creating more issues if you're not going in and busting the biofilm. And the biofilm is like a hard shell, like on an egg. And you got to break that egg to get inside to then get rid of all of the other crap that's inside of it, right? So I learned that from her book. I learned that which herbs, and those herbs were all around me out in my log homeland. Yeah. And so
they're going over here.
Totally. They would talk to me. Plantain leaf, which is now in our new kit, that talked to me every day. They're like, you need to tell us what to do. I need to go in something of yours. So I brought plantain leaf in, and then usnea hangs down all the trees because I live in a rainforest. Well, I live in Seattle now, but I have a log home out in the rainforest. And so it just really, those all spoke to me. And then when I got her book, I sat down and I was like, why are they speaking to me? Oh, because they all have something to do with parasites that I'm working around and dealing with. And
well, how about the fact that we're all deficient in vitamin D?
Yeah.
And mushrooms and usnea, which is a great D2 vitamin, is mushrooms that they provide it all. And it's like everything that I have another t-shirt. I'm a t-shirt person too. This is
me too. Oh, dear.
Keep your pets off drugs.
I love it.
But I have another one that says mushrooms and cannabis will save the world.
They will.
Because they will. Because they literally, hemp is the strongest fabric. Mushrooms and hemp clean the earth. They are incredible food and an incredible medicine. So I could talk to you all day about this. And I'm so glad you know Nicole also. I know a lot about detoxing. And isn't it interesting that we are constantly deworming our pets, but we don't ever deworm?
Never. Do you say that now to people? Like, we got to deworm ourselves. We're deworming our pets. Like, other countries know this is a thing, and other countries realize that they need to go to the pharmacia and get a synthetic, even if it's not the herbs. Like, I'm just all for deworming. Like, my whole life changed after I did my first cleanse. And realizing now, looking back, I know I got some worms from my dogs. They had worms. We did not keep up with deworming them. We did not put the safeguard in. We did, we would do it and then we'd forget. And I didn't even think, oh, well, they're licking me and I'm cleaning up after them and I've stepped in their poo and I've walked through my house and then I'm walking with socks on. Like, so many things going back, like, oh my God, how did I not know this?
Okay, so let's talk about that, because I'm sure some people are like going, oh my God, what is she talking about? So don't freak out. Yeah, I'm a barefoot queen and I've stepped in every shit known to man, and I'm still here and alive. So again, importance of a healthy immune system, right?
Yeah.
But tell us, what are some of the common parasites that dogs and cats get? Oh my gosh, I remember you talking about one that cats specifically. What's that one called? Toxoplasmosis
gondii.
Yeah, so that's one that cats particularly transferred over to humans. So let's start with that one. How common is that? How do you know your cat has it? How do we get it? Know we have it?
So Toxoplasmosis gondii, they say 3 out of 5 people can have it. Up to 60 million people have tested positive in the United States. And at one point, 50% of the French had it. And it's specifically because toxo runs in mice and rats. So if you are hanging out with your cat and a mouse comes running up wanting to cuddle up with the cat, that mouse has toxo. So what Toxoplasmosis gondii does is it actually controls the mind of the mouse, making it sexually attracted to the cat's urine and telling it to have no fear and go and get eaten by the cat, because the next step of toxo is in a cat's gut. There's an enzyme. And so if you're seeing mice and a cat cuddling together, go away because that cat is about to get toxo. And if you scoop the cat's poop, you potentially could get toxo. So they tell every woman that's going to get pregnant or is pregnant,
that's
don't
why they tell
cat
them
poop. Right. And Patricia Arquette actually has toxo. She's a big spokesperson for it. And her daughter has toxo and some issues because of toxo. But what it does is it goes in and it rewires your brain to think that there's no fear and that you have no issues with sexual partners. And so it changes who you are. There's actually some fighters that go down to Mexico and get toxo so that they can not be afraid to get the crap kicked out of them. They also did a study that almost 100% of crotch rocket riders that died, they did autopsies and they came back and 100% of them had Toxoplasmosis gondii. Yeah. Like,
oh my
it just rewires your brain.
So it's a parasite?
Yes, it's a parasite.
And how do you get rid of it?
It's like you got to put it into remission and remove some of your symptoms. And the way you find out about it is blood tests. It's actually one of the easier tests that you can find out that you have toxo. And then once you just determine if it's active or not active, there are specific protocols that your doctor would follow. But also ParaFy Kit helps with the symptoms. It helps calm it down. I used herbs to assist with toxoplasmosis, along with like roundworm and flatworm and tapeworms and Cryptosporidium parvium. I just don't think people realize how easy it is to catch a parasite in life, you know?
So those are, I guess that's the most common one with cats. Do cats have any others that are?
I would say that's the easiest to transmit. And then roundworm. I mean, a lot of animals have roundworm because it is one of the most common parasites out there. So dogs have roundworm. They can have tapeworm too. I mean, worms are equal opportunity offenders. They don't care who you are as long as you're a warm something or another to go into and you're going to be that good host.
I was going to say, are immune compromised animals easier for them to attack and take over? Wow.
Yeah, because they're stagnant. Just like as a human, you're stagnant when you have chronic illness. You're not moving, and so you're in a lower frequency. That's their jam, right? They're a low frequency. They want to keep you in a low frequency. So when you're out there cleansing and you're moving and you've got a lot of movement, you're moving your lymphatic system, it is a lot harder to get a parasite. But getting a parasite can be from eating salmon. It can be from eating sushi, raw produce out and about, drinking water. Our water was contaminated with worms out in our log home, and we live in Seattle, and Seattle's water tested positive for nematodes, which are physical worms, actually roundworm larvae. And so and Giardia is a really well-known parasite that's in the water. It's a waterborne
dogs
parasite.
Get it all the time. And I've gotten rid of, probably, yeah. True.
Yeah.
And thank you for saying that, because people keep running to the vet when their dog gets diarrhea. We don't run to the doctor when we get diarrhea. So don't do that. It often makes things worse. They're going to wipe out your gut microbiome by giving you metrozydol or something like that that's going to cause all kinds of harm, and you don't need that. You need some herbs and some mushrooms and to support the immune system and the detox pathways and help your organ and bodies do what they need to do. So what are some of the common ones that dogs have? I mean, roundworm, pinworm, giardia.
Roundworm. Yep. Pinworms. And pinworms are lice of the butt. So if your dog has them, your whole family has them, they spread around like wildfire, and you really will know during the full moon. They love coming out. And what they do, why you have such itchy butt, is because the mom comes out and lays her eggs, and then it's right in the anus creases. And that's why they say to put tape on tape your butt, because then the mom,
but is she already in there or she's crawling out?
She's coming out to lay the eggs. And then you itch your butt, and then you touch here, and then the cycle begins. You've literally just fertilized the itchy butt. So if you put a piece of tape, the mom comes out and the eggs get caught on that tape. And so that's how, then you take
still
the
don't
tape
got
to
the
doctor.
mom. So what are you supposed to do? Tape your butt forever?
Maybe.
No, deworm. We're going to deworm. Let's talk about deworm. Okay, let's talk about some things we could do for our pets to prevent this from happening in the first place. Like, I don't know if that's your thing. Are all the herbs that you have in your kit safe for pets? I forgot to do that. No, I didn't think so.
But me and you can follow up on a podcast later. I actually got a text yesterday. So I have Dr. Huda Clark's. She's a big parasite doctor back in the day. And she has this pet parasite protocol that I tell everyone about and have for 4 years.
Oh,
and
awesome.
It's parsley water. But then someone came to me yesterday and said that clove is not good for cats. And all I did was take her information and put it on like a PowerPoint for people. So I'm going to have to go in and fix that. But that's garlic. Our kit has garlic, wormwood, clove, hawthorn, and then it has cilantro. So I would hate to say, oh yeah, give your animal our tinctures, because I'm not in that space. I'm in the human deworming world. But I say, like, go to my pet protocol. Apparently I got to change it and take out the clove, because I mean, again, I'm not in this space.
Okay, so that's what I'll do. I'll make sure I have a download when this comes out for a safe pet protocol for both dogs and cats. And and I'll get that. I've never heard that vet, so I'll look her up.
Send this to me, because Angela, the amount of messages I get on a daily saying, 1, what can we do for my pets? And 2, can you create a pet protocol? And I'm like, okay.
Here's the thing. Maybe. I still think you and I need to do that. Because here's the reason. The same reason why I found you and fell in love with you is because there is a protocol. There is a right way and a wrong way of doing this. And there's a lot of us, I'm one of them, who don't just want to give them the pharmaceutical dewormer. We want to go to the natural source that it's made from and get the original. So I do think there needs to be a kit. There needs to be a do this, do that, do this many days, do this afterwards, because it does not, it hardly exists in the human space. And you did it. Thank you very much. People want it to be made easy. And I don't blame them, because I'm in my own little world and I'm like, just do that. Just do that. You're in your own little world, but we have all these things we have to do and they stack up. So not only did you make it easy for us humans, you did it the right way. I just want to talk about that. Tinctures. Everything in this world is a damn powder and has additives. It's not bioavailable. Pisses me off. It's actually why I had Dr. Nicola Palian on and why I fell in love with her, because she was the only other one I found doing spagyric mushroom tinctures. Why? Why'd you do a tincture?
Because of that exact reason. It needs to be readily available directly into the bloodstream. It's not fighting in your gut, and you're not getting only a percentage of it. Even if it's an antiparasitic that's going in there, they can still absorb up to 90% of our nutrients and our pills, leaving us with 10%. That's why we're also chronically ill. But when you go in with a tincture, it absorbs immediately in your mouth, assisting anything that could be in your mouth as well. I'll take if I'm like, oh, I have a whiff of candida, I will go and I will grab my tinctures, and immediately it resolves in my mouth, but then it goes right into my body. I don't have to worry okay, did I eat? Did I not eat? I mean, at the beginning of all of this, we told everyone you got to do it 30 minutes before you eat. Now I'm like, I don't care. Just get the herbs in you.
Right.
Like 3 times a day, all 3 tinctures, before, after, during. I don't care. The herbs are making their way into your body, unlike the pills, right? So the pills, and you have children. I mean, I think at one point there's another company that does this, right? We all know the other company that is pills, and you have to take like 26 pills. I'm already taking like a bunch of supplements because our food doesn't have any of this in it anymore. I don't want to take any more pills, and it just feels like heavy in your gut. So
and pills have other ingredients.
Oh
pills
my God, the
additives that don't need to be in there, and I hate them. And
I hate it.
The majority of the time, they're not a therapeutic dose. So you do have to, if it's a powder, put a whole pack on. I'm talking dog food now, but I can imagine when you have to mix something in your water or whatever it is. All my medicine looks like this.
It's just and look,
all of it.
I mean, it's the truth though, because like that. So we were getting turmeric sent to us because when this whole thing started, it also helped us realize about the mushrooms, and there were so many additives, all the way down to how they cut the blocks up. And I don't want any of that. I am on a healing journey. I'm trying to get off of synthetic driven drugs. I'm trying to do things more naturally. I don't need a bunch of rice filler filling up my gut. And how much of it are we getting? And I know that
at least it's rice instead of sawdust or sand.
Oh my God, right? Because that's what they put in some of the mushroom supplements. And
most of them are all coming from the same 2 suppliers over in China that are bulk sending them, and they're extracts. But why are they powder? Extracts are liquid because it's cheaper to send that over from China in a powdered form. And they also do something called spray drying. What's that? Oh, they put the liquid through a gun that adds either dextrose or maltodextrin or something, which is a fluffing, bulking agent, so they don't have to put as much mushrooms. Then it comes over here. Nobody's testing for whatever that fluffing, binding, whatever shit they put in it. I'm like, stop it. And what breaks my heart is that people will listen to this podcast, run out and go buy a mushroom or an herbal supplement, and it won't do shit because supplements aren't regulated. 85% of them are not effective. Some even are dangerous if we're talking about a synthetic vitamin, isolated vitamin, or mineral. And that's why you got to do your homework and find people. You guys, I know so much about herbs and mushrooms and hemp, and it took me this long to find Kim. So, and to trust somebody to do a parasite cleanse with, because there's a protocol. So let's talk about it. That's how we got off on this tangent. What is that protocol?
You're like my long lost sister. Where have you been? Where do you live? We've got to get together. We've got to get together.
I live in an Airstreams, but I'm coming to Washington, so I'll come find you.
I'll be in Seattle. When are you coming? Seriously, we'll talk offline.
I have a speaking event in September, so I was trying to make my way up there, but I'm serious. My dream would be to do an event with you that we're here's the OG. We'll just call it OG.
Yes. We're doing it. It's not even a dream. We're doing it. This is the best combo I've had in a really long time. I don't nerd out like this with many people because it's so true. It's what got everything you just said is why I created my own kit. It's why I went into the woods. It's why I determined mushrooms. All of these things are why, because as I'm cleaning my body out, I don't want all that shit back in my body. No. And I learned a huge lesson when I worked in Western medicine because I worked in endocrine, and I found out that all of the generic medications that are not brand name, specifically I'm talking about Synthroid, is if you are using levothyroxine, they're adding sodium and they're not balancing it out. So I took that thought process and I started to research all of my supplements, because if they're doing it that way and you don't know how much Synthroid you're getting, you don't know how much sodium you're getting, and your numbers are always off, they're doing it to everything. So I'm like, Jeremy, that's it. We're pausing any purchases. We are going to figure this out. We're going to grow our own. We're going to go forage our own. We're going to order the turmeric ourselves. I'm not putting any more of that shit in my body I don't know where your capsules are coming from. I don't know how you're making it. I don't want mycelium. I want the fruiting body. I want to be able to go out and figure this out.
I feel like Meg Ryan at the Harry Met Sally.
It's the truth. I don't need all that crap. I'm trying to get off the crap. I'm trying to figure out what is wrong with me because I'm out there dying.
And it never fucking stops. You get over to the natural world and the holistic world, and then there's all the monsters that are in there doing the isolates of the stuff. I mean, all I do is sit there and I go and I hear people go, "Oh, your dog has allergies. Give him quercetin. Oh, he needs liver support. Give him silymarin." I'm like, fuck, stop giving quercetin and stop giving silymarin and get the milk thistle, get the cannabis, get the thing that has quercetin in it. That's another isolate. All you're doing is making pharmaceuticals out of natural things, natural compounds, instead of synthesizing and making a synthetic version of it. Stop it. None of it's good. Get the hell out of our holistic natural world. Go play over there and get out of our world. You don't belong. Last year I got canceled because of me talking like this, because I'm messing up my holistic community that I belong in the pet world, because I can't play nice. And all I'm doing is telling the truth and literally reading the ingredients on my colleagues' supplements, mushroom supplements that are from China. And I'm like,
scary. It's scary.
I'm going over here, folks. Come join me. But I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to play nice. Stop calling yourself a holistic product.
It's my body. And it's in same with citric acid. You know about citric acid, right? It's the devil. It is literally in everything. Everything. Even my everything. I went to a biohacking conference. Every single thing, every gummy. There's 2 companies that I have found
that doesn't medicine. Gummies aren't medicine. Gummies aren't medicine.
I mean, they're really good to get some supplements in, not with citric acid though.
Yeah, true.
You really I had mold poisoning. So I went from parasites to mold, and I have chronic Lyme. So I have the 3 top environmental toxins that want to take you out. That's why my podcast is called What's Eating You, because literally what is eating you? Something is eating you, and you can avoid some of these things by just paying attention to what's in your supplements and picking clean company supplements and making sure they're third-party tested, and realizing that some third-party tests, even with heavy metals, you're going to have some because that's nature. But how do they handle it? What are you doing? And that's why we're third-party tested. We make sure before it even was a thing, we made sure that everything we did was above board, because let me tell you, it is not easy being the worm queen. You get attacked all the time. Oh, I love it.
I'm a pet product.
Nice.
Let me remind you, and I have a QR code with a batch number for every single small batch of my products that I put out. So I would
love to try your products. Actually, I don't have any animals, but my sister and my niece Vegas, they just got 2 dogs. And one of them is a golden doodle, and the other one is this beautiful long blonde hair, small. She's so cute. Her name is Luna. And they're always they're starting to get into this. And I'm like, you guys really need to make sure your animals are doing everything they need to do, because it's going to affect you. You all share the same microbiome, even with your animal.
Yeah.
So no matter what's going on with your animal, it's going to happen to you. And I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know my dog had heartworms. I had chest pain. I had threadworms. I ended up in the emergency room multiple times. I coughed things up. I had a hard time breathing. I look back and I think, what did my animal give me? And why didn't I protect my animal? Right? Really, it's a full circle thing. It's one of the members of my family. And I just didn't know. And I know that's why I'm so loud now, because I know, and I don't want to shut up. And I come from this world. I will never shut up. I will never stop doing what I'm doing. We actually make our own product, as you guys know, in a 10,000 square foot manufacturing facility. We built ourselves. We bought the land. We built it from the ground up. Awesome. And we have 31 employees. So we've got no desire to stop what we're doing. We have a message. We need people to hear it. It's a movement. We're in a medical awakening. I'm so proud of humanity right now for listening to this podcast and just really doing what's best for their bodies and their animals. Because they do go hand in hand. We deworm our animals. We got to be deworming ourselves. We're letting them lick us. We're letting them lay with us. I will find this video if it is the last thing I do this month. And it shows how an animal's worms get to the human when you let them sleep with you.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm going to look for it now.
And it's not going to stop me.
Yeah. And I don't want it
excited,
to. You have to live your life. You have to have the human experience.
Let's talk about some of the positives, which are the healthy microbiome that you have because you have your pet, how good it is for your health, your heart. They have those too. So I don't want people to get scared away. No. And we keep getting off of this subject, which is most important to me because it's the reason I did not do parasite cleanses before is because I knew that because I think I'm like you, where you critically think, okay, I have a parasite in me. I'm going to kill it. See, I know in cancer, so this is why I have this thought. In cancer, one of the signaling pathways is autophagy. And another one of the signaling pathways is cannabinoids turning our cells into natural killer cells. And then they kill the cancer cells. And then autophagy is it removing it from the body. So I kept imagining, probably because I was watching one of your damn TikToks or somebody where I'm watching a parasite die or explode under a microscope. Okay, it was probably. And I'm like, I don't want that floating around in my body. And then my liver has to probably do something with that. And so what if my liver isn't operating right? It just started to make me really think about detoxing, getting rid of parasites out of sick pets and what that could cause, and things get worse before they get better type of thing that happens, I feel like, all the time with animals. We're taking them off that pharmaceutical drug. We have to let the body react. We're killing that cancerous tumor. The tumor usually gets really angry and inflamed before it starts dying. So that's why I never did it. It's because I wanted to know the protocol and have products that I trusted could do it. So tell us, what is the protocol for detoxing appropriately? And I know it goes the same for our pets. So you could just tell us for humans.
Well, you need to detox parasites, candida, and heavy metals at the same time, in my opinion. And it's because they all hang on to each other, and you've got viruses and bacteria as well. And that's why I added usnea in to help kind of sweep that away. So they can hold up to 6 to 8 times their weight in spores, heavy metals, viruses, and bacteria. And when you go in and you eradicate them, they're going to drop those because there's nowhere else for them to go. It's not like you're going in and you're just doing wormwood and it's going to sweep everything away. Each one of them has its own frequency. We are frequency. And so if you think about how an opera singer sings and she shatters the glass, it's because she actually brought that frequency that shattered the glass. So all I did was figure out each ailment's frequency, and I brought that herb. And that's awesome. How you are supposed to cleanse. So you got a heavy metal frequency. I put in Ceylon cinnamon to help with potential spores that they're holding on to, because spores and mold, the same thing, they get caught inside of the parasite. And so when you're dumping all of that, you just got to keep sweeping it out and supporting your liver and supporting your kidneys and supporting other organs that are actually working harder when you're detoxing. And so ParaFy goes in, and it's parasites, and it helps with tapeworms, just like you were talking about.
Yeah. Is her product.
Is the main parasite cleanse. And then you have Sustain, which is your candida and bad bacteria cleanse. And then you have Metal Flush, which is your heavy metal detox. That also helps with supporting your liver. I put dandelion root in there. I put cilantro. I know that it sometimes is a little uncomfortable to deworm, so I added in white willow bark. It's so easy to take. It tastes really good. There's no additives. Every single thing we used has a purpose. even down to the raw honey, which if you don't heat it up above 100, it keeps its medicinal value and it helps fight candida. So I meticulously picked every single thing. Distilled water helps hold the molecules of medicine, and we have a pharmaceutical grade distill machine in our manufacturing facility. Everything we did, I used my thought process of no additives. Everything has to have a purpose.
Same. On mine, there's no inactive ingredients. On my mushroom tinctures, there is organic vegetable glycerin and some water in them also. But yeah, same thing. I'm telling you, and when you mentioned that your pets are following what you're doing, same thing happened with my dog and myself. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. He was diagnosed with degenerative myelopathy. And the formulation is full spectrum hemp with turmeric and frankincense and MCT oil. And that's what I take to this day. And neither one of our diseases progressed. So I don't have any signs of rheumatoid. I don't even have a crooked knuckle on my hand anymore. And it means the world to me that when we do need this extra support, nature provides everything that we need. It's not that you have to turn to a pharmaceutical drug. So the protocol is that we are killing, and then we need to offer a binding agent to help the body remove them from the body.
We're killing and we're supporting, and then we're binding. So a binder is something like charcoal, where charcoal is a negative herb that attracts a positive toxin and acts like a magnet. So after it kind of explodes the parasite or the environmental toxin that's in your body, then you take something like ours, which is called cinnamon, coconut activated charcoal, and Ceylon cinnamon, and it will help bind whatever just exploded. And instead of getting back into your bloodstream and back into your body, it binds it so it goes out your poo, and then you don't have extra problems because you didn't bind. And that was something Jeremy and I did not do, because in Western medicine, I worked in the emergency room, and you came in and you got charcoal shoved down your throat for two reasons. One, you overdosed. Two, you had alcohol poisoning. You didn't take a micro amount of it and be like, yo, I'm going to take this and it's going to bind toxins. Like, that just wasn't something that I had even thought was something in life, right? So one of my friends was like, well, Kim, you should bind all the time, Kim, especially if you drink, because it helps keep you from having a hangover the next day. And I'm all, that's smart. And then I go, well, can't you bind with different things like detoxing? And then I opened up all of my comments and it was like, Kim, you have to bind. And I'm like, what's binding? Right? Because it just isn't something that was ever, and I had them come out my skin, and they came out of Jeremy's skin. They came out, I coughed one up. I washed my hands and put my contacts in. I had one in my eye. Infestation. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've got some good stories about what's happening to me. And I've had some things happen in the past too, which are pretty fun. And yes, I have seen some things. Oh my God, chickens. My chickens, the shit I used to be able to get out of my chickens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo-wee. Freaked me out. More than I think any other animal. I think I got it through my chickens. And I think it was the giving them Diatomaceous earth. Would that have made them get the hell out?
Yeah. So Diatomaceous earth is really good for chickens. Some people use that every day as an actual like parasite cleanse. They put a little bit of it in their water. That's great. Keep doing that if you want.
Flea, tick, roaches, ants, everything.
But the thing about it is that it goes in, it's an exoskeletal killer. So it goes into the inside of the parasite and it kills it from the inside out. But what happens when you have something like giardia, D. fragilis, and crypto is that it's an actual microscopic. It's not a physical. So you can actually dust things up just like Ivor, just like Fend and Mend. If it's not that frequency of what you're trying to remove, it can cause further problems. So some people use DE as their cleanse every day to keep them good because they are around physical worms like with chickens and goats and stuff. And you can use diatomaceous earth if you're grounding outside. You put it in an area so that you're grounding in a clean area versus people will have their dog poop and then they go and ground in that area and then you step in it and then you end up with hookworm, roundworm right up your foot because there's pores in the bottom of your feet. So I recommend doing an area of DE and like keeping that area as clean and killing as possible in that area so that you can continue to ground. So I like DE. I just am not a big fan of it for myself. I never took it as a parasite cleanse. I found that it would be really harsh and I had more than just physical parasites to remove. I had microscopic ones as well.
And parasites can be anywhere, right? They can get into our brain, organs, heart, all that. And
lymphatic.
So, and we're able, and lymphatic, and we're able to support the body through herbs and mushrooms to completely get rid of all of them.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be something that you want to do 3 to 4 times a year minimum. I mean, we're exposed all day, every day. And so just like in other countries where they deworm themselves a few times a year, unlike us, they know. And so they're just wanting to be proactive. And that's really where we're all at in this awakening at this point, is we're trying to teach everyone how to be proactive because we've all been so reactive over the last few years or decades, or in my case, I mean, most of my life I've been reactive. My mom was chronically ill. She passed mold down to me. We're helping her get her health together. She's in her 70s now, but she's been chronically ill. I was born with my mom being chronically ill. Same with my sister. So she had.
I'm telling you, too many women are sick, and we need to. This is the answer of how you get back. Absolutely, mushrooms will both heal you mentally. Yes. Psilocybin, my first big intentional trip, I was getting over the death of my Doberman Nina, who had osteosarcoma. And I ended up getting over my mother's death, which had happened 15 years prior.
Oh, you got it at the same time. Yeah. It was like, listen, you got to heal. We're going to heal you. Well, I started the journey with my husband growing because I didn't poop for a month.
That happened to me like in my 20s. I remember figuring shit out when I was in my 20s that happened.
And I said, okay, so if I know mushrooms, certain strains will make you go poop. And so I looked at Jeremy and I go, listen, if I can't go poop like a normal person, I'm going to take some mushrooms. I'm going to have a head fix and I'm going to go poop at the same time. So it's a double down win. It's a biohack stack.
I love it. I love that. That is awesome. Tell people where they can find you, because I'm sure they're going to want to do the kit. I'm loving the kit. I love that it's not half alcohol, which I hate. And I could taste the herbs. I love it. I don't freak out about it. And man, I'm really feeling the difference. I have seen some things in my poop that I'm like, oh yeah, I see you there. I got my partner doing it. And yes, I can't wait to have something like this for pets where it's easy and we can have something that's completely just herbs and adaptogens that support them and nothing that's going to have a side effect. But tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on my website, rogershood.com, ROGERSHOOD.com. My handles are Mrs. Rogers Hood, MRS, ROGERSHOOD. On IG, it's actually .hood. Or you can just Google Kim Rogers Worm Queen and I will pop up. I am everywhere. We have over 1 million followers on every platform. That's all of our platforms have all the followers. We have 1 million followers on all of our platforms.
And it's such fun to watch parasites exploding and worms and that are found in food. And yeah, I've not having salmon anymore either.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite. And my niece's last name is Salmon, like the fish.
Buddy.
How Matrix is that, right? Yeah, it's just the best.
I'm like, this is a weird thing to say. I'm sorry that you had all these health problems and all these things happen to you, but I'm also grateful for it because look what you did with it. Yeah. It's like you were meant to do this and share it with everybody. And that's kind of how I feel about my journey also. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for making such an incredible product. There is a link to her website. I think we even offered them a coupon. And yeah, I can't wait to meet you in person.
Same. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please make sure to leave us a review wherever you're listening from. This is the best way to help pet parents like you find these episodes and get access to all our content. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Your Natural Dog and at AngelaArtolino.com.